What do you think is the hardest thing about being a mom nowadays?
I think it's scary to be a mom. We all talk about, gosh, and, when I was a kid, we didn't have, we used to play outside and we used to stay out till dark, and it was just easier, different. There wasn't the technology, the fears of all the dangers of what technology brings, and privacy issues and things like that. We didn't have those same sort of concerns. I think there's a lot more the technology advances and everything. The kids seem to be more savvy. There's just so much more that they're exposed to, and I think that's scary for a parent.
Hmm.
Because not only are we trying to keep up with the technology, but then we're trying to guess, well, where are the dangers in this, and we're trying to protect our kids from dangers we don't really know about yet.
I definitely agree. And what is the best advice you've ever received about being a mom?
I remember I had a baby shower with one of my kids, and I think the one of the things was, everybody write down on a card a bit of parenting advice, and some of it was really practical, and some of it was sort of much more intangible, just emotional, and so I just remember my sister saying, "Always keep a barf bag in the back." I've never forgotten it.
That's the best.
Good practical advice.
Very real and down to earth.
Yeah, because if you're a parent, you might not think about it. So, just trying to think of just what would it be that I wouldn't have thought of on my own. So.
Oh, okay. Enough with the mom questions. We'll get back to talking more about
That was
acting.
expected to hear, but
I know exactly. Leave on a high note, right?
yeah.
The characters that you've played, obviously, Sydney is the most popular that is known of, but now you're playing Ashley. Who are you personally most similar to, Ashley or Sydney?
I I don't even know how to answer that. I mean, I think that just that Ashley's a mom and she cares desperately about her child and stuff. I definitely, and that's an easy comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Millions and millions of women relate to that. Um, Sydney was never a mother that I would be able to compare someone to. I couldn't compare myself to that, or could I? Anybody that I know of. She was very, larger than life, and it's that great fun to play. But she was sort of your wildest dream of, like, if I could say everything that came to mind, then I would be Sydney. If you could actually say these things and get away with them out loud, then that would be Sydney. But I don't know anybody who really does that.
I can think of some people, but
You do? Wow. You need to get new friends.
I know, right? Those are more difficult people to deal with.
Yeah.
How well does the cast of Pretty Little Liars get along?
Oh, it's great. It's been so fun to watch these. I'm on the parent side of the show, and so it's been really fun to see these girls bond and characters and get to tell these stories. They're having a great time, and they're adorable to watch, and it's really fun. And you don't get to always see them because when you're shooting and with your own daughter, there's not often a group opportunity where everybody's there, but we do get together before each episode, and we have a table reading, a read-through of the upcoming script. And so that's sitting in a conference room around a table. You get to look at their face and imagine kids as the characters, and they're having a great. And
Are you still there? I think we're having some technical difficulties with the cell phone.
I am. Was I just talking, and you didn't get it?
I got part of it. I got most of it.
Oh,
Yeah, you were talking about
sorry.
sitting
You
around.
want me to repeat any of it?
Yeah, just a little bit more. You were talking about sitting around the table and looking at their faces.
Yeah, that at the table read, you get a chance to see them, look at their faces, and really associate the character with the actress and who's playing her. And you get to see how they interact, and they're having a great time together, and it's fun to see everybody in the same room.
Oh, that does sound really fun. And with you working on Pretty Little Liars and also the new Melrose Place, you've worked with a lot of young actresses. Have you found yourself taking on a mentoring type of role?
Everybody asks me that, and it's funny. I don't think that kids in their late teens and their 20s. I don't think they're really looking for advice, and I I haven't found myself in the position of being asked for advice, nor do I necessarily feel entitled to give it. I think these kids have everything figured out. They're really confident and much more savvy than I was at their age, and um, you know, it's. I'd like to think that I'm older and wiser. I'm sure I'm not. Older and wiser, probably not.
Yeah, it's funny how life just seems to go that way. So,
Yeah.
do you find yourself then, is it more of a kind of a big sister friendship kind of role that you end up taking on?
Um, yeah, I guess maybe. We definitely, um, have plenty in common. We're all, sort of in the business of acting, and everybody's been sort of working at the process of it. So there's a lot that we have in common, regardless of how old we are. It's just sort of the same business that we kind of know the ropes about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's definitely a unique position to be in. It wasn't always that way. I wasn't always the oldest one in the room. So you have to get used to it. It's a little humbling, but it's not a bad position to be in. It's good to have the perspective and the experience and look back and go, oh, there's certain things that I just I don't get worried about anymore, or I don't get bothered about, or something like that. That just comes with a little bit of time and perspective.
I think that's good for all of us to know.
Hmm? Yeah.
To put it all
I'm
in
sure it's like
perspective.
that in every business, a little time is, it's mellowing. It's good.
That is a good thing. And I know that you feel like you're not really qualified to be dispensing advice, but I can't help but ask, what is the advice that you would give to aspiring actresses, particularly those like you that started in their 20s?
Um, I think it's really important to remember that it's a long life and it's a long career. In a perfect world, your career will be long. It does not begin and end with any one job. And that the point is to sort of continue to have longevity in your career, and that the experience you have, it will inevitably come to an end. And that can be a good and a bad thing, but the point is that there will be another opportunity, and you need to be ready for that, and that's the goal.
Wow, I think that's the best acting advice I've ever heard.
Really?
Yeah, it was very
Wow.
profound. You nailed that one. And I have one last question. Is there a question that you wish someone would ask you in an interview but you've never been asked?
um, no. That's funny. I can't think of one. No.
Well, that's a fair answer.
Well, now I'm going to think of it. Gosh, I wish somebody would ask me. Yeah, I don't have it yet.
Well, how about we leave off with you telling everyone why they should watch Pretty Little Liars?
I think Pretty Little Liars is going to be hugely popular for adults, for kids, for girls, for guys. Just something for everybody to look at. And the stories are going to be great. There's suspense every week, and the friendship is really fun to watch. I think it's going to have something for everybody.
Great explanation. Well, thank you so much for your time today. You've been great to talk with.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, you have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye.